Hi, I've got a request from a fan of mine which was asking if you can make a fan. So the tutorial will be a little short for that, but we're going to show you how the basic principle of a fan is done, and then the rest is up to you. So first of all, we start by adding an empty plain axis, and we're going to position it in the center. To be sure of that, we press N. Look, it is positioned in the center. Good. I'm going to lay on the screen because you can see what I'm doing. Okay, good. Now, if this is done, select the cube and move it aside like that, somewhere over here, just around the first square. And we're going to go to edit mode. Going to face selection, select the top face, and there we're going to position it, and we're going to bring it down to 0.1. The same on the opposite side, where we're going to position to minus 0.1, and the sideways we're going to select that one by right clicking on it, and we're going to say 0.5. turn around to the opposite side, and we're going to say minus 0.5. okay, now we're going to enlarge the blade, and we're going to enlarge it through something like this. Is a bit depending on how large your fan should be. And now everyone, I think, know that the outside of the fan is always larger than the inside, so we're going to enlarge it by pressing S, and in that case it's in X direction, so SX, and we're going to enlarge it like that. Okay, but it's also thinner, so we're going to make it thinner in Z direction, so we press SZ. We're going to bring it thinner, so something like this. Now the outside is a little turned, so we press RZ, RY, because it is Y direction. We're going to rotate it, and we're going to rotate it 75 degrees, but minus. Okay, press enter. We're going to rotate it, and we do the same on the opposite side, because select that face. If you see it, I selected that face. Going to rotate again, rotate in Y direction, and we're going to rotate it at 35 degrees, also minus. And we prepared one blade. Now we go back to object mode. What we're going to see now is that the center point of the blade is positioned there, and I want it centered right in the middle. So to be sure, look at your 3D cursor position, which should stand at 0, 0, 0, 0. If it isn't, press in 0, 0, 0, and then we're going to press Shift, Control, Alt, C, where we're going to say my origin should be at the 3D cursor position. Now everything is centered correctly. Now we can rotate the blade around the center. And to do that, we go to the modifier, add Modifier Array. You see that in X direction it's positioned 1, which means that every time we add one, it will be relative positioned 1. So we say we make it 12 blades. You see, the 12 blades are positioned all one next to another, but I want them all on the same position because we want to rotate them. So we press 0 over here. We're going to let it rotate around the empty axis which we prepared earlier on, and now we're going to rotate it in one direction, and one turn is around 360 degrees. I've chosen 12 blades, so 360 divided by 12 is 30, so we press in RZ 30, enter, and we have positioned 12 blades which has all a different angle of 30 degrees. Okay, when this is done, apply. Okay, now we're going to give them a color. Let's say red. I'm going to double click on it and say red. Good. Now we're going to add the center, and to add the center we're going to add mesh cylinder. We're going to position it in the center, so it should be over here 0, 0, 0, because then it's really in the center. And we go to edit mode, where we adjust it a little bit because it's too high. Select the top face, right click on that one and bring that one lower. we're going to bring that one up, and we're going to enlarge it a little bit because I see that it is not big enough. So as like this, and we're going to give it a color. So let's say a new color, which is black. Like that. Okay, we're going to, this is the basic shape of our fan. Okay, we want to move both parts. To do that, we're going to hold down the shift button, right click on that one and right click on that one, and we press Ctrl G, and they're fixed together. If we move them up and down, you see that the whole fan is moving, can move up and down. Now, the other thing necessary that I have to do to show you something is we're going to add a plane underneath, of course, and we're going to give that a color too. Let's say, for instance, that we choose, let's say, green. Okay, now we have to position the camera and the lights. So click on the camera, select the camera, lock camera to view, and then press 0 when your cursor is on the key. I'm going to bring it. Okay. Now we're going to position the lamps. So we switch off first of all the lock of the camera view, cursor on the screen, 0 on the num keypad, and we're going to bring the lights into a position somewhere over here, and we're going to bring in another one. So we press Shift D and position one over there. Okay, should looking okay. Now go back to the render. Before you press render, be sure that your output is to the correct directory and that your format is chosen to be a JPEG, like this. Okay, let's render it and see. We've forgotten to switch off. Go back, and we're going to switch off. Select that one, and switch off over here. Shadow, receive, and cast, and the same for the red. Receive and cast, and choose that and do the same, and let's render it again. Okay, your lightning should be, but that's rather difficult. The rendering should be a little different over there, so we're going to position another one. Shift D. That's one thing that's not so easy, is to bring it all correctly in lighting as it should be. See that the lighting is much better. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. I have repositioned the view because it was not straight to the camera, and I render it again, and this is how it looks like. So sorry for that, but this is straight run looking. Okay, thank you for watching.